Hi everyone, welcome to our discovery session, all about where to get started in the Salesforce ecosystem. We are very proudly sponsored by Box, and for those of you that are coming to the book launch, which I'll talk a little bit about later on, you will actually get to go to Box offices and they are lovely. So I'm sure you'll enjoy that. So what you're going to learn about today is we're going to share more about what Salesforce is, how to use your existing skills and your transferable skills and knowledge to find the right Salesforce course for you, and what career opportunities will be available to you after that. Liam will do some intros in a second, but Liam, our in-house, our amazing, I like to say, in-house Salesforce certified instructor, will show you more about where to get started as a beginner. So let's just kick off. A little introduction from myself. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Lynn Constantine. I am the Customer Success Manager, very proudly working for Supermums. I've been here for nearly 2 years. Prior to that, I sold properties, and back in the day, I had pubs and nightclubs. So I've had quite a varied career. But my last job role entailed driving hundreds of miles every day, and I just decided that I wanted a change. So I signed up and did the same course we're talking about today before I ever worked for Supermum. So I'm not quite sure how this happened, but here I am. I live down in sunny, well, it's not sunny now because it's nighttime, but I live in North Devon. So I wouldn't have such a great career if I didn't do the training course in the beginning. So Liam, would you like to do an introduction of yourself, please?
Absolutely. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, so nice to meet you all, folks. My name is Liam, and I'm delighted this slide is here, by the way, not to my face, and obviously, but it's got my job title because I forget what it is every single time. But as Lynn said, I am the in-house instructor here at Super Mums, and I build a lot of content as well that you can have a look at online on our Udemy courses and our portals, that kind of thing. And I've been here at Super Mums a little bit less than Lynn, so once again, coming up to the 2 year mark, and it does feel like longer. And I promise that's in a good way because you do get absorbed by the team, the community, and people who are on this call. You too are going to be absorbed into that as well. Um, I've been an instructor now for coming up to, I keep saying 5 years, that was last year, coming up to 6 years now. And I used to work alongside Salesforce, delivering courses just like the one we're going to talk about today. Other courses, working for companies, working as an instructor. And I was very lucky. Got to go and see a lot of awesome companies, meet lots of awesome people all over the world. So got a bit of traveling there as well, which is very nice. Before that, I too worked in property. Similar to Lynn, I was an estate agent, realtor, for those watching in America. And before that, I used to run a garden centre. I used to be the team leader of a call centre, worked in a till. A lot of customer facing jobs, but of course, this is the one I like most of all. So delighted if anyone is watching today, for the people who've got a live session as well. I'm delighted to tell you what we have to offer at Supermums.
Excellent, thanks, Liam. Community. This is our passion. So Supermums is part of an awesome community of people who train with us globally. They go on to have some incredible careers, and then we like to meet up every now and again. So this particular one was at World Tour, which is a Salesforce event, and we always put on the WhatsApp chat that we're going to be there and then arrange to meet up. And it's quite nice to know that there will always be someone at any event you ever go to. There will likely be someone wherever you are in the world that is part of the community. So you can arrange to meet people. You don't have to go to these events alone. Do you want to continue on that, Liam? Have you got any more to add?
Yeah, sure. Now, for those watching this session, we've already done this session earlier on this morning, and
Yes.
I said then you get the sort of proud parent vibes because you kind of forget along the way just how many people have been on your course, how many people have been exactly where you are right now and gone on to achieve incredible things. So I always look at faces and think, oh yeah, I taught that person 18 months ago. So I'm looking in the middle of the screen today. So I've got Donata, I've got Letitia, there's Anna Maria there as well. So many people exactly where you are right now. And people who at the start of the journey probably didn't think they were going to be able to do it, either because they hadn't been in work for a while and maybe saw it too challenging. But that's just what is part of getting you through that journey together on a course that's been going on for so long and is so well structured. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities like this. Photos. This was not a Supermums event, by the way. I want to make this perfectly clear. This was a Salesforce event, open to anybody. And this just happens to be the amount of Supermums attendees that came along for that event. So, of course, we took the opportunity to take a photo. I'm not in the photo, which I think only enhances it. I'm about 10 minutes away from this photo. I was delivering training in the morning and I was sprinting to the Excel Arena in London from Canary Wharf. And I was not built for speed. I was built for comfort. So didn't quite make it in time, but we'll see ones a bit later on that have got me. But by all means, folks, you are going to be part of this team as well, this cohort and this awesome community we've got at Supermums.
Excellent. I can't wait. So, as we said, globally was a word that we've just used. It's a word that we use a lot at Supermums because we do have people all over the world that do training with us. We had somebody who said that they saw a photograph and it was one of their neighbours and they never knew that they were doing a Supermums course. So there is likely to be someone, if you're going to a Salesforce event anywhere in the world, wherever you're based, there is likely to be someone that is going that is part of Supermums. The wraparound that you get with our training is that you will always be part of the Supermums community forevermore. And we have people, as I say, in amazing careers, and they still come on the chat now and say, who's going to this event. So it's a really supportive group to be part of. I'm going to let you carry on with that, Liam, because I know this is again another passionate topic of ours, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And this is one of those slides I think you almost got to like take a step back and appreciate, how far this, community's actually gone. Because, you deliver training courses virtually, you're in your room with that group of people. Lynn, you're having calls with salespeople all the time. And actually got to take a step back and realize just the reach of Supermums.
Yeah.
And the little dots on the screen showing where we've got people on cohorts. That list is always growing. And I feel like we should do a bit of a bingo card if we can get somebody in Egypt or somebody in Chad one day and tick all these places off. But it really does show the span, and it just shows how popular and how successful Supermums actually is. And you've got to appreciate the winners like this. So yeah, really lovely slide, this one.
If we had that on the wall, there'd be loads of pins all in different areas, wouldn't there?
You wouldn't be much. There wouldn't be much of a map, would there? Because little holes in it.
You
In
wouldn't see it.
room. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that probably a lot of people that come to these sessions and that want to do training with us are looking for that work-life balance, the flexibility, the part-time as well as full-time roles. People want to work hybrid, they want to work from home, seasonal. There are so many opportunities that are varied, and bear in mind that Supermums is training and recruitment, and a lot of jobs that come through us will be aimed at mums because we're Supermums. I do say that though, predominantly 80% is mums, or female I should say, but there is also a lot of men and teams. We have teams that come through. So if you're watching this and you're part of a team that uses Salesforce, then you can talk to me about doing some training with us for your team, or of course you as an individual. But this is, in terms of training, this is the foundational knowledge for you to be able to learn the front end to the back end of Salesforce. And then there's so many other opportunities beyond that. I don't expect you really want to add anything to that, Liam, do you?
No, you've done a magnificent job on that slide, Tim.
Okay. We would be interested. What brought you here today? I know that I've already spoken to Sahib before the session started, and she's just signed up. So thank you for. We know why you're here. I've got someone on the slide that says JA, but it doesn't say any more than that. So I don't know your name. So I apologise for that. But if you would like to say the reason that you're here and how we can help you, then carry on. But if not, I'm going to put a link at the end into my Calendly diary and my email address. So you're very welcome to ask questions after this if you prefer. I'll leave it at that, but we'll keep an eye on the chat in case anyone puts anything in there. And again, as I say, although we'll do a Q&A at the end, you're very welcome to drop anything in the chat as we go. Liam, I'll be quiet now.
Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, so we try to put a little bit of slide here about actually what is Salesforce, because we talk about the course, talk about jobs, that sort of thing, but what is the tool you're going to be learning over that time frame? So just wanted to give you a very, very high level overview, because this could take the whole session if I really got into it. So Salesforce, It's a CRM tool, customer relationship management. Effectively, it's a really fancy storage system of your customers' data. But then what we can do with that data can go into some credible areas. We can provide analytics. We relate our data in really clinical ways to give your customers the best possible kind of service they can have. Now, when you hear Salesforce, you hear sales. It's obvious, but there are so many different cloud infrastructures that Salesforce supports, depending on what kind of area of business the company's working in. So we put together just a list of some of those more regular, some of those more consistent things that companies are using Salesforce for. You do have Sales Cloud, which is all about analyzing your sales deals. If you want to know where the money is in your pipeline, analyze it to a very high level, get the next best action with your insight, with the insight to your data, and find out how you are selling better one month than another month. Was there key metrics along the way, or was it just pure luck? Because usually it's not. It's all down to the data. You've got Service Cloud. Offer your best, offer your customer service to your customers in the best possible time, the best possible way, best possible place. All that stuff we can do with Service Cloud. And you've got another one here called Marketing Cloud as well, another course we offer at Supermums. If you are looking to generate new income streams by running campaigns, generating new leads, it's a course to show you how to get the most out of those campaigns. Leads in Salesforce are unqualified opportunities that we want to track from start to finish. How we obtained them, where did they come from, what is the best kind of marketing strategy that you have? We can do that as well. Now, there's loads of other Salesforce clouds to talk about, way more than on this slide. You've got things like Health Cloud, Education Cloud, CRM Analytics, so many topics to talk about. And the biggest topic at the moment is the one that's bottom left-hand side, not even on the chart here, in purple, Agentforce. The AI boom is still going on, and AI is not going to go anywhere. It's a course we also offer at Supermums that I facilitate. So Salesforce has put together a whole AI infrastructure to allow you to have the best possible assistant possible again, and obviously just make sure that you have the best tools available. So we do talk about AI as well, because it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be your best possible co-pilot. All this stuff is using real-time data, and we show you on the admin course how to get the most out of this tool. Customize your version of Salesforce to meet your company needs. Salesforce is not a static tool. It's very adaptable. It evolves the way you can do business, and it keeps your data secure. Since 1999, when Mark Benioff, the Salesforce CEO, turned on Salesforce the very first time, there has never been a single breach of data. And I used to think I was jinxing that, but I've been saying it for about 6 years, and they're clearly not listening to me. One more thing to talk about in the middle here is Slack. Now, it tends to be quite an American-heavy tool, this, but it is coming up to the UK more and more. We use it at Supermums. It's a little bit like a Microsoft Teams, a Zoom, a collaboration tool, even a little bit like social media, to be honest, where you can collaborate internally, externally, talk to people, share ideas, share documents, share files, and even integrate with Salesforce and things like Gmail, Outlook, calendars as well. Now, Salesforce purchased this company, probably coming on for 3 years now, and slowly but surely, we're seeing that creep into the native functionality of Salesforce. So all this stuff, all these different clouds, all these different points of data talking together, build what we call that 360-degree view of our customer, knowing all the interactions, the best possible service to facilitate them in the best possible way. And we look at that a lot in my admin course. Anything you'd like to add on that one, Lynn?
I think you've done a great job there, Liam.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so in terms of job roles that you're ultimately looking to get, if you try and think about your industry experience, your previous transferable skills, and match them with a Salesforce role. So if you've worked as a teacher, or you've worked in the NHS, or you've worked in the financial services, find an organization that uses Salesforce when you bear in mind that Salesforce is used by over 90% of the Fortune 500. There are thousands of companies using it. You can find a company that they already want you because you know the industry and you know how they work. And then when you've got Salesforce added into the mix, if they're using Salesforce, of course, it's a great match. What I always say is jump on a call with me. If you're not really sure what to do, grab a coffee, book in some time and come and have a chat with me. If you want to go a little bit more technical and you know what you want and you just want to ask me some questions, absolutely, I'd be more than happy to advise as well. I can see something in the chat and I don't actually know what
That
it
was
is.
me. I was just welcoming our next
Oh, that's
person.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Kate. Anyway, yeah, so in terms of your transferable skills and knowledge, come and talk to me. I'm going to put a link in towards the end of the session, and I can talk you through best next steps. Anything you wanted to add to that, Liam?
Um, yes, so I'll avoid the same as you reading all this out because there's a lot of
Yeah.
words on there. But look at the range of stuff on here, folks. Look at how far Salesforce actually reaches in terms of companies. And if you're thinking, well, my particular go-to company or my skill set's not on there, it's probably because we missed it on the slide, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, transferable skills is so key, and I'm very lucky to see people on the start of a journey through to the end of the journey. And at the start, it may be you haven't got any skills at all that you think, at least anyway. But having that conversation with people, we can work out what your transferable skills will actually be. So yeah, that happens quite a lot on the courses.
Okay. So career paths. Now, one thing you'll hear me say quite a lot is you've got to walk before you can run. So, Salesforce admin is the foundational knowledge. It's what you're going to need to be able to take you in whatever direction you plan to go. You might want to be a Salesforce admin. That's great. I know that Liam was saying earlier when we did the session that he sees admins advertised quite a lot. But you might be thinking that you want to be a Salesforce consultant. You might want to be a business analyst. You might want to go into change management. There are so many different things that you can do, but you have to do admin first. So, Liam, do you want to carry on with that slide?
Yeah,
Anything?
sure. So the nice thing about Salesforce is it is the number one CRM tool on the planet. So that means the majority of companies on the planet are using this tool. And that can range from big companies, medium companies, small companies, charities, non-profits, all the sectors we saw before. Um, and because of that, there's a lot of jobs out there. And it's probably one of the most active job markets on the planet working in a Salesforce kind of role. The key to that, as Lynn said, is you always start with admin. Admin will always be the platform that you can then build upon. And depending on what kind of career you'd like to go down, what kind of route, you can then branch off to these different areas. So these typically cover the most common business areas, and that's why we have courses at Super Mums. I know a lot of you here for employment, and you want the lovely salary brackets, that kind of thing. So the examples on the screen here are what you can be striving and aiming for, depending on the size of the company. But the key is, which is why we're talking about admin today, admin is always going to be that first point of entry to understand the basic components of Salesforce.
Kate is asking a question. Well, what she's saying is, I work in retail at the moment. Will I have the right skills? So I'm going to let you take that, but I would absolutely recommend, Kate, that you book in some time with me if you haven't already, and just have a chat and we can go through it. But Liam, do you want to take
Uh, yeah, short answer is yes, Kate. I could leave it there, but I won't. Yeah, I mean, I worked in retail my whole life, or some kind of customer facing role. I worked at Homebase on a till for 4 years. I was a team leader. I worked in a call center. Um, but yes is the answer. So already I'm thinking retail, customer facing, customer service, working with people on a daily basis. Um, that's transferable. Even that mindset of just being nice to people when perhaps you don't want to is a very powerful transferable skill. And obviously, depending on what kind of retail industry you're in, what kind of career you'd like to go into going forward, we can then talk about what your next step is going to be. But the next step, just to get into the Salesforce ecosystem, is the admin first of all. And then if you think you'd like to continue customer facing, if you think, nope, I'm fed up of retail or I want to work in the back end somewhere, we can continue that. But yeah, there are so many transferable skills retail, absolutely, Kate.
Yeah, and we have people that come from all backgrounds, Kate. So it's not, people that I always say there's people that were florists, there's people that were teachers, there's people that, have worked in banks. And we've even got Bill, who was an airline pilot. So that's a bit different.
That's
But
probably
when
the
you,
biggest transferable skill I've ever had, by the way. That was quite a pivot.
oh, and if you do end up training with us, you wait till you meet Bill. He's lovely. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Okay. So do you want to kick this off, Liam, and we'll tag team on it, I think.
Yeah, of course. So I mentioned before that there's an abundance of Salesforce roles out there. Of course, job markets go up and down, that sort of thing. There might be more or less at certain times, but these are some of the most consistent job roles that we see because obviously we're lucky enough to have a recruitment arm of Supermums as well. So I want to start by just talking about the administrator because that's probably the most abundant job role on the planet for Salesforce, an admin. Now, depending on the size of the company that you have, you will go into a company as a system administrator. and you will look after that Salesforce environment. Okay. You'll make sure it's running. You'll make sure it's efficient. You will update it, evolve it, whatever it may be. And that's what we align for you on the admin course. Um, and I know some people that have been administrators their entire lives, and they absolutely love it. They treat that internal system almost like another child because they get to nurture it, watch it grow, make it their own. They even give it names sometimes as well. It might be a step too far. But the key there is Salesforce is not a scary tool. Might be the first time you look at it because it's a brand new system for you, but it's very easy to use. You don't do anything with code, for example, in one of our courses. It's all declarative. Click, drag, drop, user friendly. That's why I like the tool personally. And in terms of an admin role, like I say, there's more jobs around Salesforce on that than any other. And there is still a lot of progression in that. You can get senior administrators, you can get advanced administrators, depending on the size of the company. Even as a role of an admin, there is progression within inside that. Should we take the one in turns, Lynn, and go for a job role at a time like last time?
Yeah, absolutely. And I will just add, if you look on the website, if you go to job opportunities, you can actually see if you go on each of these. So if you think, I want to be a Salesforce admin, have a look. And at the bottom of the page on the website, it says a day in the life. So it's quite good to just get a little bit of an idea of what they actually do on a day-to-day basis. In terms of the next one on the list, it sort of covers over a few of these, but if you take business analyst, which would be your Salesforce cert that you would go for, we do a consultancy course that covers Salesforce consultancy, business analyst, agile project management, and change management. So that's all one course. So when you think that a business analyst is facilitating conversations, so maybe that might be something for you, Kate, because you might like to be front of house, if you like, or as Liam said, if you've had enough of being front of house and you want to be in the background, then absolutely as Salesforce admin. Mind you, I say that there's admins that do training sessions and things like that. So it's not necessarily, you don't have to be parked in the back. But so a business analyst is going to be having conversations with the team to review and improve their business processes. And then consultant will be analysing and implementing. Over to you with Marketing Cloud, Liam.
Yeah, no probs. I've just put a few links in the chat, by the way, folks, to some of
Oh, well
our
done.
success stories and the day in the life that Lynn just mentioned as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, before I did this role as well, I was a consultant too, and I kind of wish I'd have been on the course that Supermum's offered before I actually became a consultant. It was a lot of on-the-job training. I wish I had that structure going in. As well as admin, Marketing Cloud, probably the next biggest product Salesforce has around the platform knowledge. So you tend to see a lot of marketing professional jobs. Just knowing how to use Marketing Cloud as a tool is very, very key. So of course we have a course for it here at Supermums. Okay, whether it's building your own campaigns, building your own marketing infrastructure, looking after a website, promoting various different places, you want to know how to get the most out of that tool. So once again, it's a course we have at Supermums, and it's probably, apart from admin, the next most popular job role that I see on recruiting sites. But once again, another very popular option.
Yeah, that particular course will get you the MKT 101, it's called, which is the email specialist cert. And we know companies that don't take projects on because there's not enough people doing Marketing Cloud. So definitely a great second, part of your journey if that's what if you like the marketing side of it. Project manager, as I say, our agile project management is included in the Salesforce consultant course that we offer. But as a project manager, you'll coordinate tasks and people to implement and manage a Salesforce system. So again, all of these pieces come together like a jigsaw puzzle, but you can have so much chance for career progression. I can't even say it. Progression, that's the word.
You can't progress with that word, Lynn.
Okay, Liam, do you want to take developer?
I certainly will. Now, Salesforce developer, that is something I'm probably never going to be in the future. But that is where, if you are looking to build a Salesforce infrastructure and you can't use the declarative stuff that comes out the box, that's what we learn on the admin course for 16 weeks, you can get involved in some code and learn how to build Salesforce from the ground up, actually building your code from scratch, building some bespoke solutions. And like I say, I don't really have a desire to be a developer because, I like my job here. I like admin roles, that kind of thing. There's a good salary, as it were. But developers, they are incredible people. so technically minded, and having that vision of what needs to be built using code is key. You do tend to see the salary brackets increase even further. But like I say, that one really does take you beyond. But once again, I keep stressing this point, you need the admin ability first to actually know if you need to go down a route of using a developer or not. Okay, but we'll stick with admin because, like I say, I'm not a developer in the slightest.
Okay. I love this slide because this is something that we are so proud of at Supermums. We are a Salesforce authorized training provider. We are 5-star on Trustpilot. Um, our reputation does precede us. Our brand, if we go anywhere and we're wearing our swag, which we do with pride, people will recognize us in the street and say, oh, you know, you work for Supermums, because within Salesforce, if you are involved or you're working in Salesforce, you will absolutely know who Supermums is. And we're so proud of that. And we're so proud that people train with us for the wraparound and the service. We are all here to help and support and celebrate in your success. And that's what it's all about for us. There's a lovely picture of Heather there with her book, which was, we had an awesome day out as a team when she launched the book, and it went to #1 on Amazon. It was a bestseller on Amazon, and that was Become a Super Salesforce Consultant. She is about to do become a super Salesforce admin, and we have got an event for that next week. So I'm going to tell you about that in a minute and see if you're able to come. We would love to see you. So there is something in the chat. I don't know if that's you again, Liam, is it?
It's me, yeah.
Oh, it's you.
I
Okay.
put a little link to our Trustpilot in there because once again, that's something I'm incredibly proud of. It's awesome to get such nice feedback because we put all the time in, put all the hard work in, and that little nugget of acknowledgement at the end is just so worth it. Okay, and that list is always growing. Um, Something I'll highlight on this slide because it doesn't get as much attention is the bit top center in the middle, authorized training provider. Now, not everybody gets that working with Salesforce. That is almost like a hallmark of quality that Salesforce has allowed us to be an authorized training provider because we meet their high standards. Okay. And they are high standards. I have to do so many reviews as an instructor. I'm a certified instructor to make sure my knowledge is up to date as possible. Our course is up to date as well every single time Salesforce decides to go in another direction. So that's a hallmark we're very proud of because not everybody just gets that. So although it's not Salesforce, it's Supermums, it gives you the quality assurance that you need to know to be entering this sort of role.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I see that Kate's put something else. So it's always, thank you, Kate. Thank you for your comments. It says you'd love to book, but you work Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. I will absolutely make time for you. So don't
That
worry.
won't stop, Lynn.
It's 8 o'clock now, so it's fine. I actually spoke to Sahi, who is on this call, on Saturday night and Sunday morning. So I will absolutely be more than happy to speak to you. What I'll do, I'll tell you what, let me just put my email address. If you email me and let me know the best time, and I will call you. Let me put that in. There you go. There's my email address. Okay, so I also wanted to continue on, and I've put this picture in. It's a little bit blurry, it's a bit grainy, but because Liam wasn't in that last community picture, I just thought I'd put one in because I know he was feeling really left out.
Yeah, I deliver all the training sessions, get all the love and attention, but I felt left out for this one slide deck. So, Lynn, I appreciate that.
But Supermum's team genuinely is always here, always happy to help. We love to be able to see you succeed. And we love it when I'm genuinely, in all of my career, I've never come across such a supportive group of people. And as I said, before I worked for Supermums, I did do the training course. And, you know, one of the many reasons I chose was the wraparound, the support, and that community. I had such a FOMO. I just wanted to be part of it. Okay, Liam, do you want to tell them about the course? Because I can tell you, but I think it's probably better coming from Liam because he's delivering it to you.
Yeah, thanks, Lynn. Yeah, so let's talk about the course, the 16-weeker or the 13-weeker that we have. So the course is broken down into our live training sessions. They will be every single week at the same time slot, whether it's going to be Tuesday morning, evening, or Thursday morning, evening, wherever you are based on the planet. It's 3 hours live in person with me and people on your cohort, and we learn Salesforce right from square one all the way through to some pretty incredible automation and functionality at the very end of it. And we build upon each lesson. Okay. We learn a lot of best practice along the way. Why doing things in the right way, the right order is absolutely key. And it's a very nice session. It's interactive with myself. You get to ask questions, you get to comment. For those who are doing things like the ultimate course, which I'm going to talk about in a second, you can talk about the stuff you are assigned outside of sessions as well and ask for support. Now, one of the things that you do get with the ultimate course, which is almost like our bread and butter course at Supermums, outside of the live learning sessions, you will get additional work to do to reinforce that knowledge. So you do get homework where you take the stuff from your live learning session, you put it into an incredible case study that we've created, and you get to apply what you learned in the learning session. That develops your knowledge. Okay. The learning session with me and your homework is not just a sit back, watch and read sort of thing. It's interactive. You get hands-on inside your very own training environment. You build things, you break things, you find out why things are not working correctly. The way I learn best is by trying to break things, to be totally honest, because I can see how far I can push them, and you can do the same thing. So that happens. You get a homework drop-in session with me as well, so you can come along. That's a very casual session. We don't record those, but you can ask questions of myself, of your peers. You also get a mentor on the ultimate course. Now, that's probably one of the biggest selling points of the course, because as well as the course itself being accountable, you're in a group environment, you're not by yourself. You get somebody who's been part of the the Salesforce community for a very long time. They are there to have a look at your homework, make sure it's completed correctly. They can give you advice, they can give you career correction, and you're going to build a lovely rapport with your mentors. We want to thank our mentors because they do such a wonderful job for us. We don't want to overlook that ever, to be honest. And although they are meant to be with you for the duration of your training, we do see a lot of mentors and trainees do, keep in touch afterwards, and it's just really lovely to see that as well. I try to aim for one particular goal on this admin course. We're going to talk about certifications a bit later on. It's a qualification you can obtain in the form of an exam after the course is complete. So we'll talk about certifications in a moment. You also get work experience with the ultimate course as well. And I tend to find there are two things that you're looking for, particularly if you're looking to get into the jobs market. It's a qualification and work experience. Which one is the right one to have? We give you both on this course. So you can get placed as well into one of our partners. It's a non-profit typically, or a charity, or other organizations, and you can step into the role to support and see how an actual Salesforce environment works. That is so valuable because I don't know any other course on the planet that offers that, and it really does kind of separate this from anything else. You get career support as well. Heather has these weekly career clinic drop-in sessions to find out how you can improve your own personal branding, job searches, that sort of thing. And something else we promote on the course, you'll see in the middle of the screen here a little link, a little badge called Trailhead. Now, some of you may know what that is, some of you may not, but Trailhead is Salesforce's online learning platform. It's where you can go and learn pretty much any area of Salesforce you'd like to. It's absolutely free. And the question is, why would you come on a Supermums course when you've got something like that that's available as well? Well, Trailhead is very nice, but it's quite addictive. You tend to sort of lose the learning along the way. You just click, drag, drop, build, and you don't really learn. And a little phrase of mine is, what's in it for me? Why am I doing things in a certain way? So we incorporate Trailhead as well, but having that community spirit, having the accountability, having the homework, having your own hands-on environment really does take us a step above. And I've got to say, a final thing before I go to yourself on this one, Lynn. My favourite thing on this sort of journey is you see the people way back in week one. The people that are not quite sure to log in, the ones that are unconfident, the ones that perhaps haven't worked for a long time or ever in some situations. And it's a scary thing in those first couple of weeks. And all I ask is that you bear with, keep going, see how it goes. And slowly but surely, you will build confidence. You won't even realize you're doing this, by the way, so I try and call out as much as possible. But you'll then start to use Salesforce terminology without even realizing it. You'll pick up things along the way to the point where you're at the end of the course, you're ready to go and sit your certification, you're ready to go into your work experience, and you're going to think, how did that happen? And I remind you of where you were back in week one. I've seen it so many times. And people don't believe us at the start, of course, but we get them there, which is testament to the way the course is run. Anything you'd add to that one, Lynn?
Yeah, just to elaborate a little bit, in terms of I know when I speak to people, they say 6 months, that's a long time. I'm not quite sure if I want to do that for 6 months. But if you break it down, giving you an approximate time, the first 3 months your 12 weeks is where you're going to have one live session a week with Liam. That's where, like he said, globally, you will either do a Tuesday morning at 9:30, which would be your cohort, or you would do a Thursday evening at 6 p.m. We have a lot of our American friends that join the evening for us session, or people that are working. So, if you're working, like Kate said, you might want to join the evening session. If you're a mum at home and you're looking at going back to work, then you may be more likely to join the morning session. So you'll do that for 3 months approximately. Month 4 is where you're going to have study groups. You're going to have exam prep. You're going to be with Liam to do some mock exams. And then you will likely take your exam in month 4. In terms of the work experience, that runs over months 5 and 6. So you'll do approximately 48 hours of work experience for a real organisation over those final 2 months. Some people do get to month 4, they get their cert and they actually get a job, and they come back and say, Kelly, our training manager, they say, we don't actually need the work experience because you've got a job now. But on the turn of the coin, I also get people coming to me on a daily basis that have got through it with Trailhead on their own. Well done, I couldn't do that. But they want the work experience because that is so valuable on your CV. We do know people that have gone on to get a job with the company that they've done their work experience with. Of course, don't forget, 2 things have to come together for that. They need to be looking for someone at that point, and you have to do a good job. So, in terms of, is there a job guarantee? Well, of course not, because not everyone, quite frankly, with all the will in the world, some people will probably never get a job doing anything. But if you are trained up and you look at doing your industry knowledge, as we said, that's where you're likely to get the jobs. And because we have training and recruitment, we can help you with the whole package. So, okay, do you want to talk about the certs, Liam, please?
I shall, yeah. One thing on the last slide I forgot to mention as well. It is a weekly session myself. Every session is recorded. So if you are working full time, you have kids, you have a life, that sort of thing, and you can't make every single session, don't worry. It's all recorded. It goes into your portal. And I know people that watch those recordings more than the live sessions, or people that are preparing for their certifications at the end of the course, they go back and watch the live session. So you'll have that as well, particularly because Kate, you mentioned you work in Monday to Friday 9 to 5. If you can't attend in person, you've got the recording there as well. All right. But yeah, let's talk about certifications. So this is my number 1 goal for anyone who attends one of my courses, to get you the certification in your area. Salesforce has loads of certifications. We just put a little snapshot of some of the ones on the screen here. But a certification in Salesforce is effectively a qualification in a particular area of Salesforce. So you have the administrator certification. That's the one we're going to be firing you towards and aiming you to complete for the end of your course completion. And I've worked with Salesforce for quite a long time. One of my previous job roles was actually working on a graduate program with Salesforce to train people to become instructors like myself. And the first thing they were required to do was get their certification. So we kind of know what works and the best strategies to get you admin certified. Depending on the certification you get, it tends to be the thing that highlights most on your CV. The nice thing with the course, as I mentioned before, you get the work experience, you get the certification. I tend to find this certification is the key to unlock you getting things like an interview. And then when you actually get the interview, it's for you to demonstrate your knowledge. Okay. The certification is an exam that you will need to pass at the end of the course. It's multiple choice. It's difficult to pass a certification, not meant to be easy, otherwise everybody would have one. But that's my number 1 goal for all of you, to get yourselves admin certified, to then get you that job opportunity that you can then run with at the end of. Okay. Anything you'd add on certifications, Lynn?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, if you see it advertised, it's the ADX 201 that you're looking for. That's the one you're aiming for. But yeah, absolutely. And if anyone can get you there, I can guarantee you it will be Liam. He gets top marks from everyone that does training with him.
Thanks.
So just a couple. I mean, I know that Liam's popped it in the chat for you. We've got so many people that have gone on to have incredible careers. They've come on just like you. They don't know whether to do it. They don't know whether not to do it. A bit like me, really. When I started, I didn't know what to do, and I was doing a bit of trailhead. And then I just decided that I just wanted to be part of Supermums. I was so drawn in to the whole situation. I just loved everything that I'd seen, and that's what made me probably want to do it. But a couple of things that people say. Have a look, as I say, on the website and see lots of different success stories. But here we've got Divya, and she said the course was exactly what I needed. Having no tech background, I needed a course which was guided and where you are able to go and ask somebody questions. Just on that, when we say about asking questions, don't forget you've got all of the team, you've got the cohort that you're with, you've got the alumni, everyone that's ever done any training with us. You can raise a case if you've got a problem. Liam does a homework drop-in session once a week. You've got your mentor. So there's so much guidance and support, which is obviously what Divya's saying. And then Zainab said the best thing was our weekly webinars and sharing ideas with the cohort group. My cohort had a WhatsApp group, and we used to motivate each other every day to do our certifications and Trailhead Super Badges. And as I say, that is a real snapshot. There are so many more people that have, gone on to do some amazing things. I'm just going to look in the chat. I don't know if that's you again, Liam. Are you just, oh
I
no?
did one, but we got another one.
Okay. So, JA is saying, hello. Hello. How many Ultimate Administrator courses are run per year? I believe the next is in February. When is the one after that? So the one after that is in May. Yeah, that's it. There's four every year, so that it goes February, May, September, November. I think that's right, Liam, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But if you want to book in some time with me, again, I'll drop the link in towards the end of the session. You're no problem. You're very welcome to book in some time and have a chat with me, whether you're thinking about doing this one or 2027. Doesn't matter to me. You're welcome to book in and I can talk you through best next steps. Okay. So, as you just said, the next course starts on the 24th of February. Well, it's week commencing. You'll either do the Tuesday morning or the Thursday evening. Week commencing the 24th. You need to enroll by next Sunday, which is the 9th of February. So you need to get in to have a call with me so that I can talk you through how to go about it, whether it's for you, and we can decide together if it's something that you should be doing. But as I say, I can tell you that people come from every background to do this. So don't forget, you may be thinking in your head, Liam said, this is a hard exam to pass, but it's hard for everyone. So you are no different to the person sat next to you. Literally speaking, of course. But yeah, so that's the next course. There is something in the chat again, and again, it's probably you, Liam.
Not
No,
me.
it's not. Okay, it's Sahi. Can I do my actual job and also manage work on real-time projects? If you want to, of course. Yeah, absolutely. No problem at all. Anything you want to add, Liam?
No, the answer is yes, you can. Like I say, I get all sorts of people on the course. We get people that do work full time, and obviously you have less time than some people that are not working. But that's the way the course was designed to be. So people have got lives and jobs, and it's not an intense Monday to Friday 9 till 5 sort of thing. Like I say, the drop-in session is the only thing really. If you want to come along live, you could come along in person, but it's recorded. Everything else is designed for you to do in your own time. Whether that be after work, at a weekend, middle of the night, it's up to you. It is incredibly flexible. So yeah, you'll be fine, they say.
And okay, thank you, she said. So I did say to you about the book launch. I don't know where you're all based. I know that Sahi's coming. So if you did come along to this book launch on Monday the 10th, so it's next Monday, you will meet myself, you'll meet Liam, you'll definitely meet Sahi because I know she's coming as well. And you'll meet lots of other people that are either doing the next course or have done a course with us. We have mentors there. We have some real professionals in the game. But come along and listen. You can come virtually as well. And again, I will put a link for you to be able to join that.
Got
But
it.
if you're able to come in person, it's just so nice. It's just so nice to see everyone. Anything you wanted to add, Liam?
Yeah, that link is in the chat, folks. If you want to have a quick
I've done
look.
it.
Yeah, that's all good.
The game. Brilliant. Love it.
Yeah. And yeah, one thing that I think does lack at Supermums, if anything, more in-person meetups. So
Yeah,
stuff
we
like this
have
that's
them.
going on. I really like it because you see people, it's all
Yeah.
virtual majority of the time, and actually being able to celebrate in person with somebody, have a hug, shake a hand, little glass, that sort of drinks, that sort of thing. It's just really, really nice. So if you are meeting somebody for the first time, or you've been talking to somebody for 16 weeks, you'd like to um, come along and meet us. All right. And I will say as well, we're very honored to be working with Box, one of our awesome sponsors. They have a beautiful office,
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. So we are
We love it.
privileged to be able to use that occasionally. So come along just for that if you'd like to.
Yeah. And don't forget, don't feel like, oh, I'm never going to be able to go to these events because I live wherever I live. I live in North Devon and I always get the train up. I have a day out. Sometimes I stay over, but I just love to see everyone. So it is really nice if there's any way you can. Bear in mind, if not, if you live, further away, if you're in the US or anywhere in the world, there will likely be events that are going on that there will be super mums at. So again, put it on the chat, arrange to meet up, take some nice pictures because we always love some pictures at super mums. Okay. Look at that lovely little picture of me and you, Liam.
Check it out. That was after a 30-minute sprint to the accelerator from Canary Wharf. So I'm a bit red in the face on that one.
Oh, but thank you for joining. Has anybody got any more questions?
We'll give you a moment if you want to put stuff in the chat, folks, or if anyone would like to come off mute, you're more than welcome to ask any questions. That's some brilliant questions, by the way. Any other
And I'm going to
questions?
stop sharing and I'm going to grab some links to put in there. Well, I say that some links. I think you've done most of it. So I think I only just need to put my Calendly link in.
Yeah. I'll say as well, if we don't have any questions, I always say that's usually a pretty good job, Lynn, that we've done our job very well. So we've answered all questions. There we go. Will I have the portal access from today? Interesting question. No, not yet. That will happen a little bit close towards the start of your course. Typically, the week before your first welcome call session, that's when our Jane, our internal person, starts to set you all up, gives you access, that sort of thing. So usually about a week before the course starts there.
Yeah, and to elaborate on that, the main reason, Sahi, is because you get 12 months access. So we want the 12 months access to start from as close to the course as it can, so that you get your full 12 months. Obviously, if we've got people that joined before Christmas, and if we gave them access, then they've got a month less than everyone else. So we like everybody to join. And of course, this week we normally say about 60 people per cohort. We're on just over 50% now. So once we get to the 60, we normally call it a day. Although I've got to say, last February we did have 66. But we'll try and keep it into the 60. And this week, leading up to the deadline day, will be very busy for us. So that's the reason, really. That's the reason why we do that.
Yeah, thank you for your question, Si. Anybody else? Any other questions for us?
You are very welcome. I have just put my Calendly link in. I know, Sahi, you don't need it because you've already signed up. But if anybody else needs it, if you're watching either live or on the recording, you will be able to see my Calendly link. Kate, you'll be able to see my email address there. And of course, J.A. I'm sorry, I don't know your name beyond that. But if any of you want to just drop me an email with any questions on, you're very welcome to. Even you, Liam, if you want to drop me an email, you're very welcome to.
I'll ask you some questions, Lynn. Yeah.
Something I was going to say, because I just went to say, and it's just rung a bell in my head somewhere, was I was going to say, message me on Slack. If you join Supermums, you're welcome, Kate. If you join Supermums, you get access to Slack. So again, that's an extra thing you can add to your CV that you've had some experience with Slack. And we do have Slack groups specific to areas globally. So if you're in the northeast, for example, or the southwest of the UK, then you will have a group of people that will be in there. Obviously, they've got to join to be in it. Wherever you are in the world, if you're in India, if you're in America, if you're in Spain, wherever you are, there will likely be a group for you. So Sahi says, I work for Blank Street. I saw that actually on LinkedIn. And we use Slack. Oh, brilliant. Okay, I'd love to join the Slack groups. Okay, we'll sort that out for you. I can do that now, so I'll get that done for you. Okay, thank you. Anything else?
I think that's it. So, folks, thank you very much for taking the time to join our session today, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you on one of my actual admin sessions going forward. But yeah, thanks for your time, folks.
And if you can come, we'll see you on Monday.
To see you on Monday.
See you.
All right, thank you.